Alright, that's enough messing around with settings. Let's get started. Hey. Right. New game. And now we all get to laugh as my first job as Berserker. Opening cutscene. You have to go. Yeah, King Tycoon. Here. King Help, I can't see. Yeah, it's a bit like that. And now we're simultaneously in the best and worst part of every 4-job Fiesta. You gotta watch the opening cutscene, which just drags on for ages, but also we don't know what any of the jobs are yet. That's the exciting part. I have to plan for basically everything. Yeah, pirates. The wind stopped. I'm your favorite streamer? That's not good. Just gonna sit here and pretend I don't know what the story of this game is. God, how many times have I beaten Final Fantasy V now? 15-ish? Something like that. Just don't break the crystal. No promises. Alright, I still don't have control. I was about to be like, right, I have control now. And it's like, no, wait. I forgot this is about to happen. Our nameless friend and his chocobo see a Mode 7 meteor about to crash into the planet. Those old school SNES graphics. Slightly cleaned up for the GBA. We finally have control. Let's go investigate this meteor. You wait here, Berserker. He's like, alright. Now, config, active, Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Standard, ATV, optimize, reset, auto dash on. What color are we going with this year? Anyone got a preference for window color? Classic blue. Anyone else? We got it matching the border at the moment with the classic blue. Alright. No one else has got any votes? Alright. Blue it is. Yes, our classic question mark freelancer. Alright. Oh god. That girl's being kidnapped by goblins. Victory! 20 gil, 60 XP. Hey, you alright? Yes, I believe so. Give me my thanks, my name is Layla, and you are? Me? And now we get to name. Please enter a name, and the game's like, his name is Bots, and I'm like, no. Done that a few times. Call me Avros. Me and my chocobo just go wherever the trail leads us. Avros. Yep. That's what I said. The rock suddenly fell from the sky. In fact, must have knocked me out. Guess it's a meteorite. Meteorite? I wonder if there's a connection to the wind stopping. I mean, probably. Yeah, and I give you my thanks. I should do something more to show my appreciation, but I really must go. Okay, bye. Whoa, hey, hold up a sec. Alright, did you hear something? Huh? Help me. Over there. Haha, old man. No, you're alright. See, I predicted his name. His name's Old Man. Where am I? Oh, my aching head. Sakes alive. What's happened? I don't remember. I don't remember anything. How many times do I have to give you a name, Old Man? Just the once. He'll remember that, nothing else, until later. So you hit your head pretty bad. Maybe you got amnesia. Oh, something came back to me. My name is Galuf. Let's start. Anything else? Oh, just the name. Other than that, my memory's a blank slate. Sorry, must... Excuse me, I have no time to waste. Where are you going? Must go to the Wind Shrine. The Wind Shrine? I mentioned, it's pretty sure that's where I was headed. Decided, I'm going with you. But... Well, that's such a sweet girl go all by a lonesome. Let's get that shrine. I feel it in my bones! You gotta take me with you. When does the pain begin? It's already started. Because the pain right now is I basically have to plan for everything. I have no idea what job I'm gonna get to start with, so... And Avros the slacker. Like, nah, I'm not going with you. He's gonna let the amnesiac old man and the girl that almost got kidnapped by goblins go off on their own. Godspeed, all that whatnot. How do you remember the term Godspeed, old man? You're an amnesiac. Alright. Hidden chest here. It's not. Try and do as much of this off memory as I can, where all the secrets are. Come on, Berserker, let's go. Chocobo time! Chocobo just throws me off into a wall. Bad Chocobo, we've been stopping like that. Don't give me that look. Quare! 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 I know, it's just a girl and an old man. Goblins run. Fine, I got it. I got it. Hey, come on, man. You're a competent fighter. Also, earthquakes. Alright, let's do this. Goblins. Gain to level. Over the pit. Over the pit. More goblins. This game is kind of a slow intro. And we pick up Lena, Galif, and away we go! Resident Sleeper. More exciting than E3. I mean, is that really hard? Alright. Shock from meteorites cause a landslide. Road's rubble, you're not gonna get to Tool. I have to find another way. Alright, I'll go with you personally, see did you get there safely. Oh, really? Yeah, you know, it was my dad's dying wish I go out and travel the world. Plus, it feels like it. Like the wind is calling to me. What a sweet talker, as if you don't just have the hots for the little missy. Come on, Galif. Doesn't sound surprised, this old dog is always ready for anything. Oh, Galif. Bonk, yeah. That's Galif for you. Must be able to reach the wind shrine. Right, and we'll find it. Alright, let's ride. Everyone pile in the chocobar. Now for our plan for how to get to the wind shrine. Let's go into this random cave we find. There's being a cave here. One of those quakes, open it up. It's a little dangerous to chocobos. You stay here, okay? Alright. And we go. Oh, 2 steps in before you get a random encounter. Alright. Punch him, Galif. Yeah. First actual random encounter of the game. Alright. Yep. Some very solid attacking. This is the quote-unquote boring part of the game's combat, which is where we don't really have anything we can do. Like, if you go into the menu... Oops, trigger the cutscene. What's with that spring? Go down, it's like... random encounters into the spring, Jesus Christ. Alright. What terrible timing. Water bats. No, it says steel bat. Oh man, I get to tell everyone about my favorite translation mistake in a bit. This game has a notorious translation. They translated it for the PlayStation 1, and it is abysmal. Yeah, we can't use either of these 2 commands in the menu of the top here, job or ability, yet, because we don't have the job system, and it makes the combat kind of boring. I mean, unfortunately, the best mistranslation isn't until much later, so I don't get to tell people about that one until later. which is the mistranslation for the wyverns. That one's really good. Equip. Okay. Stropers. Yeah, get him, Galuf. Oh god, pirates! I'm just gonna press the obvious skull-shaped button in the wall and open the door. Oh, so that's how you get in. As if you knew there was something there all along. Oh god, more bats. Oh crap. There's every possibility that we get our first job from the job crystal and have to come back here, because we end up with, like, Blue Mage as our first job, and we want Vampire. Because it's actually kind of handy. Leather cap. And optimize. It's gonna be Time Mage. God, what crystal's Time Mage on? I think it's on water. Like, I'm gonna be upset if I get Time Mage as my first job. I mean, I'm stuck with freelancers for the annoying part. I'm trying not to spoil what happens in the story for anyone who hasn't seen this game before. Alright. What's that? How's that ship moving? There's no wind. The wind has stopped. How's that sailing with the wind so weak? They're all confused. I can see into the future. I know exactly what they're going to say. Ah, don't we get caught by the pirates? Found our way into the pirate hideout. And now for the best plan ever for how we're going to get to the Wind Shrine. It's a pirate hideout. It means that ship we saw must have been a pirate ship. Wonder if they would give us a ride. Yes, Lana, let's just go up to the pirates and be like, hello pirates in your hideout. Can we borrow your ship for a ride to the Wind Shrine? I don't think the ride is to let us kill horse. And then Galuf. Yeah, wow, survivor for a pirate. That's why we just sneak on and steal their ship. Oh, you're pretty gutsy for an old-timer. And he just laughs. No rebuttal, he's just like, yeah, and that's totally what we do, we're just gonna steal their ship. Alright, let's do it. Ship stealing time. Yo-ho-ho and stuff, time to cast off! And nothing happens. Well, cast off means start sailing, kid. I know that, the wheel won't even budge. How do you work this thing? Try working anything and there'll be the devil to pay. Ah shit, the pirates caught us. You know, totally, obviously trying to steal their ship. Oh hey look, that character's got a name. Trying to steal my ship, are you? That's a lot of brass. Well, mayhap you're lacking in brains. I'd wager it's the latter. Wait, I am Princess Lena of Tycoon. Please accept my apologies for attempting to commandeer your ship. And Galuf and, Ross are just like, wait, what? Princess? So this is a formal request from the Kingdom of Tycoon. Please allow us the use of your vessel. I must get to the Wind Shrine. My father is in danger. And the pirate captain just laughs. Oh, Princess of Tycoon, here on my ship. I'm sure we can fetch a good price for this one. Hey, leave her alone, you degenerate, lecherous, piratey pirate. It's not good with insults. You'll see that as the game goes on. They keep trying to give bots, Avros, whatever you want to call him, insults. He's really bad at it. I beg if you please. And then her amulet glints in the sun. Varys is like, wait, that amulet. Toss a lot of them into the brig. Aye, aye, Captain. Well, that's it. Game over. We got captured by pirates. Everyone go home. This is a fine how do you do. Genius came up with the idea to steal a pirate ship anyway. Look in the mirror, Pops. Oh, my aching head, I can't remember a thing. Oh, Gallop. Your Invisio also conveniently returns. I can't believe you're really Princess of Tycoon, Lionel. Sorry, I didn't intend to keep it a secret. Not that big a deal. You're the princess, why were you going alone to the Wind Shrine? I was there, he hadn't been gone long when the wind slowed to almost nothing. Can't shake the feeling something terrible was happening. Put that alone to head to the shrine, and then that meteorite fell, and you know the rest. So just to fill in some lore that this game doesn't really tell you. I mean, even if you watch the intro to the game before the title screen, it doesn't really tell you. There's the Four Crystals, the Elements, which is a theme that they've done in a lot of Final Fantasy games. Obviously, Wind, Water, Fire, and Earth. You can see the bottom right of the stream there. They control the elements, so the Wind Shrine has the Wind Crystal in it, and if the wind is stopping, then that means something's happening to the Wind Crystal, and if the wind stops completely, that's, you know, obviously bad, because then ships can't sail, there's no breeze, like, the wind's just gone from the world. So if something's happening to the crystal, that's really bad. Why does Princess Tycoon have the same pendant I do? Then with our amazing 16-bit graphics, you can see it's the same pendant. Shadow Father's the Wind Shrine. The next morning, better cast off, lads. We set a course for the Wind Shrine. And we get brought up onto the deck. Captain, what about the landlubbers? Untie him. I meant sometime today. And we're all free. But why? I reconsider your request. We can go back to the brig if you'd rather. Pull anchor, we sail for the Wind Shrine. Hey, something wrong with your ears? I hope I don't have to repeat myself. Well? Aye, Captain. And now for the big reveal of how the boat works. Once that guy gets up in the crow's nest. The wind has stopped. How can the ship move? Full of curiosity, aren't you, lass? Sildra, come up and say hello. Everybody say hi, Sildra. Beautiful, isn't she? Sildra and I race together. We're as close as siblings. Sildra's a water dragon. Alright, we're off. And then the game's gonna be like, hey, you haven't played this before, do you want me to tutorial sail you to the Wind Shrine? And I'll be like, no, shut up. I know what I'm doing, and we're not going to the Wind Shrine yet. We're going to Tulle. And the pirates are gonna be like, yeah, time to get shit-faced. And go to the bar. Then Faris is gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna go with my crew and get drunk as well. Alright. Let's go get some free gear. Yes, I'm new to this adventuring thing. Let me into the beginner's guild. Item. 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 Yep. It's the Sacred Ball. None of you guys have anything of value. Monster in a box. It's one singular goblin. For the shoes. Inside this is a present from me. A lot of battle. perfect. No, no one else here has anything of value. Here we go. I think there's a... That one's the potion. Tent. Yes, I won't forget about you, Faris. Shut up. There's one broadsword in the dungeon. Means I need 2. Equipment. Optimize, optimize, optimize. That's correct. Faris has got dagger, so I don't need that. 5. So everyone's armor situation. I think it's all leather. 2 caps. Don't need any shields just yet, because I don't know if I'm going to get a job that can use them. Alright. No, I won't buy potions yet. I'm gonna hope I get lucky and get a class that can actually heal. Don't need to buy magic yet. Get out of the way. Kill. Alright. And we'll just shortcut. Oh wait, no, I don't need to go there yet. Because he built the Tawna Canal and I don't need the key. Just yet. Alright, Faris, come on. Trying to leave without me? No, no, we won't. We don't know how to work your ship. Alright. Save. Just like we save up. That one from last year. Alright. To the Wind Shrine. Come in here, and this guy tells us King Tycoon went up to the Wind Crystal, and then the wind stopped, and everything's bad, and now there's monsters in the shrine, and we're like, oh shit. We need to go and save King Tycoon and figure out what's going on. There's a top floor, when I'd go take a look, right? Thus begins our quest. And soon, we'll see what the first job I'm going to get is, and then we'll understand just how much pain I'm in. Tent. White snake. Consecrated circle, we can save and use tents and stuff. It's left. No, it's right, dang it. Hey, everyone leveling up. Not that it makes a huge difference yet. There it is, leather cap. That's why you only need to buy 2 of them. Ah, mold wind. One shot. One shot. One shot. This place is not really threatening unless you get like, hey, what's your first job? Oh, did you get White Mage? Have fun. Optimize. Time for the first boss. The Wind Rock. In a second. Seeing if I got a random encounter. Because the game wants to drag this out. Incoming! Boss fight. Wing Raptor. Alright, that's the first boss dead. Everything going smoothly so far. Up to the crystal chamber. No. Thankfully, no, because there's a couple of boss fights later in this game. If I get Berserker, they're basically impossible. It's gonna take a lot of resets to clear them, which is why, as I like to say, this could be very painful. That explains why the wind has stopped. The wind crystal's broken. And there are shards of it everywhere. And the shards glow. Now we get to see where the other crystals are. There's the fire crystal. Courage, the essence of flame. Should be the water crystal. Devotion, the essence of water. Hope, the essence of earth. And lastly, passion, the essence of wind. It's like, what? Which, I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen this game before, that's probably exactly the reaction they're having to just the essences of the four elements just flying across the world into the characters. It's just like, excuse me, what? What's happening? Feels warm. These are the crystal's essences? Then, Father. Listen, and listen well. Before the Chosen Ones, warriors of light. Where is the four crystal essences? Father, what do you mean? The wind crystal is already shattered. The other three crystals are in danger as well. You four must protect them. The evil presence awakening wishes to return everything to darkness. And he's in a purple bubble and warped away. Go forth, light warriors, save the crystals. Wait, no, father! What are these? They're pieces of the crystal. Oh god, we're being attacked. Crystal fragments installed within the power of warriors of legend. Knight, monk, blue mage, thief, black mage, white mage. That's the first 6 jobs unlocked. Which also means we get to do this. Let's go find out what our first job is. In before Berserker. Well, I hate to tell you, Axie, but you're wrong. I mean, I'm also not happy to get this job, but you are wrong. At least it's a job I can use right away. But now, let's get out of here. Yep. For anyone who's looking at that and is like, I have no idea what job that is, I'll explain it in a second. I'm just waiting until it gives me back control so I can change job. There we go. And our first job is Blue Mage. And so, because of the rules of the 4-job Fiesta, you're only allowed to use jobs that you currently have access to. So at the start of the game, everyone starts off as a freelancer, which means everyone in your party gets to be freelancers. As soon as you unlock your first job, if you can use that job in Pure Chaos, because that's the mode I'm playing, I could have gotten a job I don't have access to already, which would suck. Everyone's now Blue Mages. So, the thing with Blue Mage is, they're one of my favorite jobs in Final Fantasy V, because it's really, really fun to use. The problem becomes using them effectively is a big issue, because Blue Mage is basically kind of a kind of tanky, like, mage fighter class, but they learn magic by taking damage or getting hit by spells from enemies, so which means I have to kind of, like, sit in combat and wait for things to hit me to learn spells from them. So that's fun. I have to deliberately take damage. That means, step 1, back into the Wind Shrine. And find a goblin. Now my damage has been cut in half because more mages. And now we play the waiting game. There it is. You wanna play Hungry Hungry Hippos? I don't have Hungry Hungry Hippos, sorry. Oh. This time, maybe? Nope. So we're trying to learn Goblin Punch from a goblin. Which is an odd spell. I'd have to look up exactly the mechanics of it again. It's got something to do with your strength number being a multiple of 3 or something, it does double damage, or your level being a multiple of 3 or something, it does double damage and hits, like, really hard, or it's something to do with the level differential, you being the same level as the target. I always forget exactly how it works, but it can hit really, really hard. Come on, Goblin Punch me. There we go. Alright, that should be enough times. Learned Goblin Punch. And so now, when we go into Magic and we go to Blue, you'll see this massive, ridiculous list of spells we can learn. Now we know Goblin Punch. Attacks one enemy with a Goblin Strength. Alright, now we can leave. So, if you've ever played, I guess the closest equivalent most people have played, seeing as Blue Mages aren't really in too many other Final Fantasy games, is Final Fantasy VII, the enemy skill materia. Basically the same idea. There is one really, really awesome, amazing spell we can learn later in the game, but it needs you to confuse an enemy so that they think you're a friendly target and hit you with it, so I don't like our chances of actually getting said skill, but we'll see. Alright, now I know I can use shields. Time to get shields. Excuse me, sir. I would like to buy your shields. Wait. L01 equipped. How is that equal on everyone's defense? Are you weird, game? Alright, none of them can equip shields. Wait. Whoever they can. Oh, did Faris end up... Oh, yeah, Faris would end up with shield still. Cool, that's fine. Alright. Confusing myself. Shield, shield. Alright. Now we go and talk to this guy. Look, it's good to see you. Yes, it's been a long time. Favor us, let's go to Walls. We need to pass through the Torna Canal. This creature destroyed the beast in the canal and multiplied like rabbits. Much too dangerous to enter. Seem to have lost the key to the canal somewhere. Can I help you without the key? And he asks us to stay over. Okay. I guess the game audio decided to play one last note of that song. It's not really supposed to do that. That's a new one. Oh wait, I forgot. Something I need to do in this town before I leave. Oh, the thing of it, the reason Dad... Flashback. For some reason, like a real anime protagonist, when Avros was a kid, he had green hair. This must be protected at any cost. Still, if anything should happen to me, never tell Avros about the crystals. They aren't his burden to bear. Too late, Dad. Oh, darling, please don't say things like that. Why the one random note of the song in the transitions game? What are you doing? And then the dude who lives here is just creeping on the princess in her sleep. Matter of us. Nothing, just matter of folks. They died a while back though. Here, take it. Huh? Take what? Key to the canal. Go with it. You can open the gate to Walls. Sorry about Lena, so I hid the key, but... Please, take care of her. Alright. Forgot that I was playing on Pure Chaos for a moment, and then was like... Wait a second. Something I need to do to make sure I'm prepared for if I get one of the other classes later. And now we leave. Way out of town, we need to go to the pub. Because we get to do this. For you, honey, we've got something special. And then all the dancers pile onto Avros. This isn't why we're here, but, you know. Oh, 90 Square Enix. Anyway. This is why we're here. The piano. And I suck at playing piano. Piano skills leveled up. There's a whole side quest with the pianos in this game, where if you you play every piano throughout the game, they're in different towns. Your piano skills get good enough that it teaches you one of the bard songs, which is one of the skill sets you can get is a bard, and they use music, obviously, for all their skills. And it's super helpful, so it's worth doing. In the 4-job Fiesta, if you get Bard, it's kind of just disappointing. But if you do get it, you actually want access to all the songs because they're very useful, especially the one you get for playing all the pianos. Alright lads, I'm leaving you laggards behind. Captain, but why? Who would follow you to the ends of the earth? Nope. No can do. Not this time. Captain! That was a long journey. I'm going to need you lads to guard the hideout. We can't just let anyone raid our booty. Big Captain, please. Aye, aye, sir. So this town that we could only get to by boat, we're just going to strand you here. I don't know how you're going to get back to the hideout, but we're going to strand you here. So, you know, have fun with that. I'm trying to remember, can I get back to the bats? I don't think I can. Anyway, let's just quickly check. So we can go back for that. Cool. No one's on or. Right now, the only difference is that the wind is slowed, but soon it will stop blowing completely. In a few years, the air will grow stagnant, birds won't have any place to fly. Yes, because apparently if the wind disappears, there's no more sky, apparently. Also, we had to protect the 3 remaining crystals. 3 crystals? Yes, fire, water, and earth. Those were lost too then. At first nothing would happen. It wouldn't be very long before the earth began to decay. Seas dirtied, rivers ceased to flow, fires lost their heat, the world became dark and cold. It would really become an unlivable world. Protect the crystals. Ah, trigger any of your memories? Nope, doesn't matter. Still gonna help. Well said, old man. I'm coming along too. First, we started to find Lena's father, King Tycoon, but he disappeared into thin air. No, he warped away in a purple bubble. Still lives, I believe in my bones. Never for a moment believe otherwise. Avros, will you come with us? Or I was just going along for the ride, but seeing everyone here? Crystal shards. Give me the power to protect the world. The power of the wind crystal. That's it, I'm in. Got some crystals to save. Sure enough, let's be off. Alright. Let's go get our second blue magic spell. It's here, isn't it? No, too far. That's how we do that. Killer bees! Everyone dressed up in masquerade gear. Bogus footprints, don't tell me he tried to go after us. Steel crab. Come on, vampire me. There it is. Let's see if we learn from that. Learn vampire. Perfect. Now we have a way to deal with the next boss. Not so much the one after. Oh god, I just realized how bad the next boss is gonna be. Not the next boss, the boss after that. They really threw bosses at you really quickly to start this game, actually, now I think about it. It's just... yeah. Choose, perfect. Blue magic for all. Okay, here's one of my favorite, like, weird occurrences in this game. You see how big that door is? It's a pair of double doors. It's, like, bigger than the boat. And, apparently the key to these doors was given to Avaros before, just in a building, you know, so just, like, I'm assuming a regular-sized key. So you sail right up to these doors and they're locked. Ross just walks up to these giant double doors on the end of the boat and is just like, click, alright, door's unlocked with this tiny key. Like, where did you get the key? He's like, does it matter? Let's get going. And I'm like, more importantly, how does that tiny key open such a massive set of doors? And then you just... There we go, they're open. Octokraken. I was hoping for the other enemy. Because then I could do the translation goof. If I don't run into the other enemy, I'll just say it. There it is. These things are suckers, as you can see, because they're some sort of, like, squid. In the really bad PlayStation 1 translation of this game, they were translated to S-O-C-C-E-R. Sockers, as in the sport. Because that makes sense. Don't know who proofread that. Hey, what's that? Oh no, the sealed monster. Thundering typhoons, the rudder's not responding. Better figure something out fast, because we're getting sucked in. Boss time in the whirlpool. Sildra, what's wrong? Look alive, something's coming! And it's the Kala boss. Goblin Punch. Time to exploit the Goblin Punch. And it's dead. And that's why you learn Goblin Punch with blue mages. And everyone's gonna learn check. Yeah, blue mage is really good in the early game, and then in the mid game they suck, and then in late game they're really good again. But they kind of fill different roles. Like early on it's like, yeah, they've got really strong magic, and they do good damage. Especially with Goblin Punch. And then if I can get Death Claw later, which is kind of like risky to do, they'll be even better in the mid-game for a bit. And then they kind of just drop off because their damage becomes bad. But then they become like support class instead. I have played this game a lot. And I have done the 4-job Fiesta a few times. I haven't had Blue Mage, actually, before on the 4-job Fiesta, so this should be a bit of an interesting experience for me. Can expect we should leave him be. Because Sildra died. So he's upset. Ship is just drifting within the current. Wonder where we'll end up. Because the wind's gone, so we can't sail it, and the sea dragon's gone. So we're drifting on the open ocean in a ship we can't control. Welcome to the third dungeon, I guess, of the game. The ship graveyard. Graveyard of the Sea. Gathering place for ruined and scuttled ships, and a nest for the undead. Ah, skeletons. Old map. That's not the one we can grab. Whoops. Calcruthals. Wait, none of these things are particularly weak to anything, so there should be Job for Goblin Punch. Oh, same damage. Our levels are too high. Ooh, elixir. Best healing item in the game. That cutscene out of the way. Basically, it's like, the only way to get out of here is to go through the water. Yes, elixirs, you can kind of farm them here from the Calcruthals because they drop them on a low drop rate, and elixir is full restore of health and mana, so actually really good. And they drop them like I said, the third dungeon of the game, which is kind of insane when you think about it. There's nothing in out there. The flail's in here, but I don't think I'm gonna need it, because I don't have White Mage right now. How much does it sell for, like, 50 gil? Box of an eye a minute. And, combat strategy still at this point is attack everything until it dies. The next boss, though, that actually requires some level of strategic involvement, so that'll be interesting. What's this box? With the pirate logo on it. Preemptive strike. $990 gil. And dead skeleton. Alright. That's the wrong way. Right way to go through this place. There it is. And here. More skeletons. Phoenix down. Back attack. Now I'm wondering to myself, do I run from this combat because it's back attack or not? Can't equip Night Sword, so I don't think it's that big of an issue. Yeah, I killed it anyway. Could still get a Knight, though. So, how's everyone in the chat's day going? There's not really much else to talk about in this game at the moment. I'm soaked. Yeah, there's a fish in my shorts. Room seems safe enough. Let's take a rest. Going to change into dry clothes. No peeking. Okay, we're completely underwater. I don't see how you have any dry clothes, but alright. Fire on the wooden ship. Faris is like, I'm fine with this, don't worry about me. Crazy boy, catch pneumonia in those wet things. Yeah, get out of those clothes. Berserker's wet. Look, I have to get to the next crystal yet before we get our next chance at a random job. What are you doing? Don't touch. We need some spice. You know, at least the first two crystals are pretty close together, and then the third crystal's kind of a longer stretch. You know what, I'm gonna speed through this dialogue. Turns out Faris is a girl. She's pretended to be a boy her whole life because pirates don't respect women. And yeah, didn't want to be a girl on a ship full of pirates because, you know, that could be bad. And it's like, yeah, now that the cat's out of the bag, you guys probably don't respect me as much. And everyone's like, oh, we don't care. So yeah, there we go. The first sort of like secret of the game. Turns out Faris is a girl. Gal falls out of bed. Yo man, it's enough lollygag if the likes of you on your feet, let's go. Ah, if you're gonna dress like a girl, you should real shame. Hide such assets. At least you could talk like one. No point trying to change her if Faris is who she is. That's for certain. Yeah. Good morals to teach people. People are who they are. Alright, everyone's full health. We're all level 6. Cancel Caliph. It's a bit like that. Get my world map. Not that I specifically need it, but I'd rather have it than not. Oh yeah, mind flushes. Look at that enemy design. It's a floating skull with its face ripped off out in front of it, and the tongue is like all the way through it from the back of its skull. That's some good sprite work. And now it's dead. It's funny that you're like, cancel Galif, because there's a character later, my personal favorite character, Gilgamesh, who has a great line about the fact that Faris dresses like a dude. It's completely non-judgmental, it's just good. Greg is awesome, you're right. Him and his offsider Enkidu, who never talks. And then they put Gilgamesh in Final Fantasy XIV, and he can't find Enkidu, so he adopts a green chicken and names it Enkidu. Gilgamesh. Why are you so much further into this game than where I'm at? Don't worry, I'm hoping we'll get something interesting for next job. Blue Mage is actually kind of boring, all things considered, because it's just not particularly difficult. Hey, everyone's learning. Oh, must be the other one. So something I didn't explain about the job system in Final Fantasy V. You'll notice that I'm job level 2, with 0 out of 70 at the moment. That's ABP or ability points. Basically, you end up with like secondary and stuff abilities you can learn. Your job command is whatever you have set by your job. So I'm a blue mage, so my command is blue magic. But you can also learn like extra abilities. Either they can be passives like learning, or active ones like check, which lets you check how much HP an enemy has left, or what other skills and stuff they've got. And what that allows you to do is allows you to actually have like a lot of party customization. So like you could have, for example, a white mage with learning, so that if the white mage gets hit by spells, they will still learn it for the party, so that the blue mages can cast it and stuff like that. So really, like this early on, you're just gonna have people all basically with the same class, obviously, if you have one from the first crystal, and they'll just keep ranking up in their job and learning additional stuff. So later on, if I don't have anything worth putting in that passive ability slot, I can put learning in there, so at least the rest of the party is still helping me learn more magic for my blue mage for endgame, because I only get 4 jobs. It's the whole idea, right, with the 4-job Fiesta, so someone's still going to be a blue mage at endgame. Because I have to have one of each job. Something's fishy about this place, it ain't COD. Ooh, shiny. Avros, come closer. Mom? And Avros is like, no wait. My mom's dead. But it's too late. And it's King Tycoon. Father? Paris is like, oh wait, don't. And then she's like, oh, hang on. I got charmed as well. And Lawson appears, and it's a blonde girl. She's like, Grandpa, over here. And Gallif's like, who's that? I can't remember. Convenient amnesia. And everyone's soul starts coming out of their body. Gallop's like, no. I don't remember any of this, so it doesn't work. Let's have your soul become one of us. Demon, what are you? Oh, I didn't expect any of you to escape the effects of my magic. Greetings, I am Siren. I'm afraid your companion souls belong to me. Still, I'm feeling generous. I could be convinced to spare us if you ran home quietly. Think I would abandon these kids? Fat chance, Mizzy. Why'd you risk your life for these people? Because they're my friends. Don't be fooled by our trickery. Open your eyes. And then... whack. 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 Hit them with the wake-up slap. And they get their souls back. And now it's time for the next boss. The Siren! Retreats and uses time magic. I mean haste, come on. Goblin Punch! Oh, 45. It's not as much as I was hoping, but that'll do. Vampire. Nope. Ow. Protect. Right. Siren's become one of the undead. Now our physical defense becomes huge and our magic defense becomes low, but I can't use any actual magic. Because I've only got Goblin Punch. Damn blue mages. Yeah, saw that one coming. There's the first party death of the run. May have been a little too cocky coming into this one. Oh, going back to human, okay. There we go. One hit. Hey. If you use Vampire on an undead, it's a really bad idea because it heals them. And damages you instead, because it's how that type of magic works on undead. Any sort of draining magic damages you instead of them. So, yeah. That's fun. Because she alternates between alive form and undead form. You need to be really careful. Fun. Yeah, exactly. Oh, please stop casting Protect on yourself. And now we still wait for a turn back into a human. There we go. So that one come with the poison on him, but easier than using an antidote, which I'm limited in. Don't silence me. There we go. Bronze armor that nobody can use. God, if you saved us, I owe you my life. I didn't sweat it. Aw, you're blushing. Doing nothing of the sort. We all laugh at the old man with amnesia. Yeah, no other armor I can equip. Cool. Yeah, Siren has heavy flag set. To explain that question there from Axie, bosses that have the heavy flag set means they can't basically be one-shot by random stuff. So, for example, any regular undead, if you just throw a Phoenix down at them, the game is coded because a Phoenix down sets them from a character from 0 health to essentially like a quarter health and revives them. It just instant kills undead. So that's fun. But because Siren has the heavy flag set, you can't just throw a Phoenix down at a to instantly kill her, and elixirs work the same way, because it essentially heals you for whatever your maximum health number is. It also can't do the same thing. So, otherwise you could just throw an elixir at her when she was undead and it would kill her in one hit. Lizards and other hibernating animals can't stand the cold. Thanks, I guess. Frost Rod. No ship to waltz, the wind's too weak. Oh, this conversation's great. Just a reminder of a dead friend. Ships can't go by sea. Can't go by land or sea. Have to go by air. Counter number 2! I'm slightly better at piano! Can't buy any magic. Don't think there's any new swords here. There is the longsword. That goes most of my gil. Onto that for now. Hello, armor shop. For Karosses. What change is that? Don't think it's worth it. No, it's not. Alright. Especially not when I still need to buy more potions. Yes, let me stay the night. 10 gil. Alright. Potions. All that there. Making sure I'm not missing anything here. Everybody's level 7! Still not sure why these things are called Gatlings. I know they use, like, needle attack, but... Anyway. Brass Rattling. I don't think so, but that would make sense. I don't remember what they're called in Japanese. That's the problem. Alright. Next dungeon. Flying through it. Ah yes. Rock slugs and literal tombstones. My favorite part about this with those tombstones, there it is. They try and use a spell called Flash, but they don't have enough mana, so they can't actually ever use Flash. Interestingly enough, it is actually a blue magic spell you can learn, and you can learn it by applying an ether to the headstone, giving it mana so that it can use Flash, then waiting for it to flash your party, which then blinds everybody in your party, making them have a 50% miss rate on all physical attacks, which is not fun. So then you have to go get eye drops or go to the end to cure that. The big downside being that Flash is not a very good blue magic spell anyway, so there's not really any point in doing that. Gold needle. Basically just galley in Japanese as well. There you go. Let's go with grass rattling, which makes it galloping. That seems good. Oh god, cat scratch. Gatoringusu. There you go. I mean, usually there's a reason why they call it something like that, but... Needle and Gatling guns. Yep, fair enough. Oh god, 2 steps and another random encounter. Trying to get to the interesting parts, game. Everyone wants to see me experience utter pain and nonsense from getting a bad class, so, you know. Because right now this isn't really a challenge. And if I randomly luck into just like an actual Final Fantasy V party setup, I will be surprised. Like if I get like, let's go with Blue Mage, Mystic Knight, Ninja, I don't know, Samurai, Time Mage. That'll be dumb. I mean, every crystal could be any job, so... Not particularly likely, but it could happen. So, Jan said in chat before, my strats are too strong. Well, time to show off just how strong they can be. I'm gonna get struck with a poison arrow. Oh no. And then Megisa shows up, and she's like, yeah, we caught a Windrake. We're gonna take its horns to the black market. And we're like, yeah, no, we don't want that. Let her go, you addle-pated, foul-complexioned scofflaw. That's a better insult. And then Faris just jumps the gap. Like the crazy lady she is. And then falls. And then is like, no, I'm just gonna catch myself on the way down and climb back up. Don't worry about it. Throws a rope over. Now we got a way across. Just have to crush you all. And then it's like, here is the next boss fight. And then you do this trick. And you snap the Frost Rod, and it does 1,000 damage to her, and the fight's over. The game doesn't tell you can do that anyway. No, there's a mechanic with rod-based weapons where you can break them, and they're gone. Like, I don't have that rod anymore, it's no longer in my inventory, I can never do that again without getting another rod. But they cast level 3 black magic when you break them, and at this point in the game where the best black magic spell you would have is like a level 1 black magic spell, that's kind of nuts. So yeah, we got my items. That Frost Rod, completely gone, but you know, just cast Blizzaro on Megisa there and just one-shot her basically. Which is fun because she summons her husband, Forza, if you fight her normally, and fighting Forza is really annoying. So, yeah. I'm just gonna snap the rod and skip the rest of that encounter, because it's way more fun that way. Also the unfortunate downside that you can only break rods with classes that can equip rod-based weaponry, so luckily, because I have Blue Mage, I can take advantage of that, otherwise you have to fight it normally. The dragon's hurt, so Lena's gonna walk across the purple flowers that poison you to get the dragon grass, just so she can help out the dragon. Because it's her dad's dragon. And he's like, om nom 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 nom. Oh hey, I'm fine. And it's like, Lena? You're not fine now though, like, what the hell? And the dragon's just like, no, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna cure her with my dragon powers. And then Avros is all like, yeah, I don't like heights. Everyone just laughs at me. What's so funny? Face, kiddo. Anyway, get on. They'll get on the dragon. And then Gallup's like, no, I'm gonna shove you onto the dragon whether you like it or not. Alright, now if you want to talk about hacks and reporting me, here's the part where the game also doesn't tell you can do this, but this is way more hacks than breaking rods, because it's like an intended mechanic. What I'm about to do is kind of not intended. It's probably the best way to put this, which is I'm gonna completely ignore what the game wants me to do. I'm gonna take this dragon, I'm gonna fly all the way back around here, back to the start of the game. Right over here, this is where we started, this is the starting forest that we started in, and I'm going to fly across this desert, and here's the meteorite, and that meteorite's actually blocking that path, so earlier we couldn't get past this meteorite. I'm going to fly this dragon up past the meteorite, and we're going to go to Tycoon Castle, which I'm not supposed to get to until much later in the game. And then they're just going to let me in, and I'm going to go in, we're going to go up this way, and we're going to go into the castle, talk to the Chancellor, which isn't supposed to happen until after I've gotten, like, all 4 sets of jobs. And they're going to talk about how the kingdom is weakened because of the monsters, and they're going to ask me to stay the night. And then they're going to agree that we're going to at least stay the night, but we'll come back later. And you know, this may seem innocent enough, you know, we're just breaking the story a little bit. Nothing that's happened here so far seems you know, stop just abusing sequence breaks, yeah. So nothing so far seems bad. It's just like, yeah, you know, you're getting the story out of order. It doesn't really matter. And, you know, if it was just getting the story out of order, it wouldn't really matter. Matter of fact, you can actually never come back here and see the section of the story unless you absolutely want to. I mean, later they get you to come back to the castle anyway. I kind of just sped through that part of the story, but Lena mentions that she's got a long-lost sister that went missing when she was a child, and no one knows what happened to her, and she thinks it's Faris because her and Faris have the same pendant. And the room's still dark, apparently, and Avros gets woken up. And then the lights turn on, and it's like, oh yeah, everyone's waiting for him to get up. Alright. Now for the reason why this is a massive sequence break. And why this is it's kinda hacks. And if you're gonna report me for hacks, now'd be the time. Oh, high potions. Those are like way better than regular potions. Those heal for a lot more HP than anyone on my party has right now, because they heal for 500, and no one's got more than 100 HP. That doesn't seem fair. I mean, one high potion would be fine. How about we get a cottage, and an ether, and a phoenix down, and another elixir, which is another full heal. And cottages are like better versions of tents. They heal for like a lot more health, about 1000 HP when you use them. So that doesn't seem good. I mean, that seems like way too powerful items to have this early. We're not done yet. Let me go down this little secret passageway here. Yeah, put a small house in my bag. This is my favorite part. You have to flick this switch to get into this vault, and then you go inside the vault, and the switch is on the outside. There's no other way to get out, and you go in here, and there's a dude in here. It's like, excuse me, sir. You came in here and then closed the vault on yourself. Did you just plan on me coming in here to ransack it without any warning of where this vault is? Or did you just plan to, like, die in here if no one came to get you out? He's like, here, have this staff. And then he gives me a really good white mage staff that I can't use because I don't have a white mage. And then I'm going to get one of the best geomancer weapons you can get early on, a shuriken for the ninja, and a shura, which is a ninja sword, for the ninja class, which I also can't use right now. And all of those, if I don't get any of those classes, sell for a shitload of gil. So, you know, we're just going to sequence break its really powerful weapons, kind of break the game a little bit. And then we're going to go here. Oh, it's not one of the later classes. Unless it's... no. Cool. No, that was everything. There was another secret passage there, but anyway. You know. Let's just go and get some fun weapons. Which if I gotten Freelancer instead of Blue Mage, I could equip that ninja sword, but as it stands... yeah, can't equip it. Solid exploit. Yep. I mean, all it requires is a bit of exploration in a direction the game doesn't actually want you to go. But, like, it's not, like, that far out of the way. And the dragon can't fly over mountains, so you can't actually, like, sequence break and go, like, anywhere much further away. No, it's kind of part of a lot of guides around how to play the Forge of Fiesta and stuff like that, that you can go there. But the first time I played this game, I did kind of just figure out I could get back to Tycoon by accident. And then didn't know about the storehouse at all, so I missed out on all the weaponry. But yeah, it's in, like, all of the guides. It's like, oh yeah, you can go and do this. Speaking of random stuff... God, trying to remember all these secrets off the top of my head is not so easy. Not one of those here, is it? No, we're good. Weapon shop. Battle axe, longsword, dagger. No one can equip axes yet, because axes come from the next crystal. Axe is the favoured weapon of Berserker. Shields. Yep, no point buying Kemper geese. That's why it wasn't worth buying bronze shields. Alright. I need to go into Castle Wolsey. Do I risk it? You know what? We're gonna take one attempt at this. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a straight party wipe. Oh, wrong side of the castle. If I don't pull this off successfully, this will be a wipe, but gotta give it a shot. At least one time. Basement floor 1, Volsay Castle. There is only one encounter in here, and despite it being like a safe area, yes, there is a random encounter in here. And there it is. The Jackanapes. This thing has so much defense and dodge, and hits like a goddamn truck. Basically one-shots your entire party. The only safe way to get away from it, at my level, is to run. This might seem like a really bad idea, to come down here and face the Jackanapes, but that item I just got is incredibly strong. And it's equipable by any class in the game, so if I can get out of here with it, I will explain exactly what it does. Hey, we did it. I was going to give that one attempt, so that's actually some insane luck that I made it out. Alright, so let's explain what it was we just got. Elven Mantle. So that description there down the bottom, cloak that sometimes evades physical attacks, is like a 20% chance to just straight up no damage a physical attack. So yeah, equipable by literally any class in the game because it's an accessory slot, to just say, oh, did you try and hit me with a regular physical attack or like a magic attack that does physical damage? Nope. Straight up, no damage to me. Invaluable. Always worth a shot. Right. Now to go and get our next fantastic blue magic spell that we need. I need to go back to Castle Volsay, because we're not done here yet. Out this way, around the back of the castle, through the moats, in through the waterfall to Volsay Water Tower. Which is a hidden dungeon the game doesn't really tell you about unless you talk to literally every NPC. Let's kill that ice soldier. Damn back row enemies having higher defense. You know what? Health, so no damage. That is dead. And now we play the blue magic waiting game again. Yeah, the blue cast animation is really good. It's a very good reason why they really took the Final Fantasy V blue magic style for 14, and they put blue mage in. It's a pity blue mage in 14 sucks, but you know. Vampire! Come on. Do the spell. There it is. Yay! Pond's Chorus. I got turned into a frog. Learned Pond's Chorus. There's our next blue magic spell. I'm still a frog. I don't have any maiden skins on me. Whoops. That was a mistake. The frog victory dance, yeah. So, yeah, frog song. Turn you into a frog. Which, works on enemies. Not everything, but works on enough enemies that it's actually, super useful. And the best part about it is, being a frog doesn't stop you from casting magic. What it does stop you from doing is it stops you from doing physical damage, because it severely drops how much physical output you have. The very next boss that we're going to go and fight is basically all physical attacks. The idea being that it's just really high HP, does a lot of physical damage, you're supposed to get in there with your, you know, newly minted sort of magic classes and stuff. You know, you got your Black Mage and the first job crystal. Get in there and just nuke it down. It's really weak to ice magic and fire. Sadly, Blue Mage doesn't have any of that. What Blue Mage does have is Pond's Chorus, and you can just turn it into a frog and then never worry about it doing any physical damage again. King of Walls, stop using the machinery to amplify the water crystal's power because it's, you know, draining the crystal and it's going to shatter if you keep doing that. And he's like, I heard about what happened with the wind crystal. There's no evidence provides the same thing will happen with the water crystal. Certain people would be opposed to seizing the crystal's amplification. It's like, hey, we don't have time to argue, just maybe stop being a dick. Holy moly, what's going on? Hey look, another meteor's coming. Be a real problem if that landed right where the crystal was, wouldn't it? Emergency! A meteor fell near the Tower of Walls. Which is where the crystal is. I'm like, well, we better get to the tower. Move out. It's exactly the same thing that happened with King Tycoon, you dumbass. Well. Anyone want to bet what's going to happen in the next crystal? It'll be fine. It'll be stronger than before. Well. Gorilla suddenly went berserk and stormed into the tower. We didn't stand a chance. King went in after it. Someone own Knight went in too. To explain, because I didn't talk to any NPCs, there was this really cool elephant called Gorilla that's been hanging around near Wolsey Tower forever. Basically, it's like a guardian of the area. It's completely, you know, docile. You can actually run into it as a random encounter outside before the meteor comes down if you come up here. And it kind of just like goes, hey, I'm Gorilla, and just buggers off and leaves you alone. And you're like, oh man, look at this friendly elephant, isn't that cool? And then the meteor crashes, and then the friendly elephant goes berserk and charges into the tower. And everyone's kind of like, well, that's bad. It's a giant, powerful, mammoth-like elephant. That could be a problem. Oh, look. Ah, here it is. My favorite translation mistake in this entire game is right now on this screen. So there's two enemies here, Paz de Sol, which is the, like, ghost, skull, manta ray thing. The other one is a wyvern. You'll never guess what they translated it to on the PlayStation version, unless you've heard the story before, because it's really, really stupid. But they translated it as capital Y, space, burn. Why burn? Exactly, why burn? Just... It really feels like no one proofread the script at all. for the PlayStation version. They just kind of did a like once-over from Japanese and went, yeah, it's good enough. What's this enemy? Soccer? Yeah, it's fine. Wyvern? Yeah, what? Whatever. Fuck it, who cares? I mean, there's other examples, but Wyvern's just my favorite. It's so stupid. Please save the crystal. Wow, it's almost like you should have listened to me in the first place. Silk Robe that no one can equip because we got no mages. Obtained a Maiden's Kiss. How's the soul? Just while I'm throwing around random Final Fantasy V trivia while I'm playing at the moment, because it's still not particularly interesting in this tower. Final Fantasy V is the second Final Fantasy game in the series to have a job system. The first one was Final Fantasy III, where instead of changing jobs and learning stuff as you leveled up based on an ability point score, you just got everything that job could do by changing your class to that job. But instead they put in a system where changing job required X number of combats before you fully changed job, basically. So it limited what you could do with that class until you actually completed that many fights, which is a really dumb system, and it kind of cripples changing classes at different times, considering that that game also puts in sections where it's like, oh yeah, everyone needs to be affected by shrink to get into this next dungeon because you need to be small. And the only things that when you're shrunk that can do decent damage are mages, so if any of your party is set up as physical damage, well, you better go and change everyone to mages and then have half efficiency for a little while you get that sorted so that you can shrink to get into this next dungeon. And it's like, why? Or my other personal favorite, an entire dungeon where when you hit enemies they multiply into additional copies of that enemy, and only the Dark Knight class, which has nothing else special about it, can prevent that by happening, because apparently they're dark magic swords, which are the same swords everyone else can equip, for some reason prevents them from splitting. It's a weird game. There's also a boss that does so much damage that the only real way of dealing with that boss is to have everyone as dragoons, so they can jump and be out of combat half the time, so that his abilities don't hit you. And then it's just race the boss to death by jumping. I don't particularly like Final Fantasy III, in case you can't tell. Hey look, it's a random night in Garula. They're controlling you, aren't they? Well, I won't let you destroy the crystal. And Garula's just like, nah. And now we get to fight Garula. That was a lot more damage than I was expecting. Pons Chorus. Now he's a frog. All the high chi strats. Oh no, he toted himself to transform himself back. Haha, I turned him back into a frog. He missed with his toad spell. 0 damage! Oh no, he's got Rush now. So Rush is an interesting ability. It would make this fight way more complicated if I didn't have Pons Song, or Pons Chorus, sorry, because it hits for 0 damage at the moment, but it hit for about 100 if he wasn't transformed. And then it just slowly drains your health, so you'll notice Galuf is just, like, slowly bleeding out right now, because he keeps getting hit by Rush. Toad. Vampire. The upside being is once we kill Gorilla, we get our next job. So it's not all Blue Mage party anymore. We actually have to change someone else's job. We can pick, though, with the 4-job Fiesta, any combination of classes we want. So if the other class is better than Blue Mage, we can just have 1 Blue Mage and 3 the other class. And if it sucks, we can just have 1 of them and 3 Blue Mages. Which, considering I'm on Berserker Risk, my next job could just be Berserker. I'll tell you now, I'm not doing 3 Berserkers and 1 Blue Mage. No matter how much anyone starts saying it in chat, that ain't happening. You know what? If enough people say 2 Berserkers, I'll go 2 Berserkers. But if it's just you, Axie, I'm not doing 2 Berserkers. The crystal. And... it broke. We were too late. And the random knight's just gonna go and collapse in the doorway. Lord Galuf. It's like, wait, Galuf? Me? You know who I am? Lord Galuf couldn't protect it. Forgive. Stay with me, man. Please tell me who I am. Fire Crystal. Protect. Now he's dead. And then the other crystals start glowing. Because it's time for new jobs. Give us their power too. And now, for another fun piece of Final Fantasy trivia, about Final Fantasy V. See how there's like a little crystal fragment up there next to the wall? There's no way to get up there and get that. That crystal's not possible to be gotten right now. You can get it later, and it has one of the jobs that I seriously hope I don't get in it, because if I do, it's gonna really suck. Like, a lot. But, once you pick up all the other shards, the tower starts sinking, and then there's no way to come back into this, because it's collapsing, and it puts you right in front of that last shard to be like, hey look, idiot, you can't get that, enjoy. Remember there's a shard in this tower, in case you find a way to get back to it later, and then the whole entire peninsula just sinks into the water. And then it's like, oh no, we teleported out, but we're gonna drown. And then Sildra comes back. Turns out, Sildra didn't die at all. And then Sildra just is like, this is what you get for abandoning me in that whirlpool, I'm gonna eat you all. And game's over, we got eaten by a dragon. That's not what happened. She carries us to safety. Faros is all like, Sildra, you lost your strength to save us. What are you saying, Sildra? You can't die. I won't let you. And just in case you're wondering if it was a second fake out or not, Sildra does that, you know, death cry. Now we know for sure, Sildra definitely died. This time. One more for good measure. Alright. We get to do this again. Because it's time for job number 2. Let's see what we get. Job number 2... Shit. Well. Here we go. Oh, no one else was saying it, so... Ah, yes. What an apt description of the class. Always berserk in battle. These feral warriors sacrifice commands to gain strength and power. Please select abilities. We're gonna have the world's smartest berserker, because Faris is gonna be able to learn. Have I ever not gotten berserk with Risk on? No. Not a single time. Every time I play with Berserker Risk, I get Berserker. Because of course you do. Like, that's kind of the point. Is there a good axe in the next area? Just trying to remember now. I'm like, do I go back and buy an axe? I think I do. No, because I can get a cheap hammer. I think. Just confirm. Yes, I can. Alright, cool. Well, no going back for the Berserker. Let's just press onwards. By going into the meteorite. This one has a doorway. Go into the meteorite and there's a teleporter. Bye, Abros. Make it? Did he warp? No, until we try. Totally really fair. The soldier knew who I was. Who am I? And Gallifrost as well. And as if this wasn't already fun enough, because now we've actually got our second job. The third job is actually super close as well. Because we warp, we get to the next town, and then it's the next dungeon and the next job unlock. After a little bit of shenanigans with the town. Alright. Onward. And so now, to explain Berserker and Berserker Risk and why this is a huge problem. Faris's ATB bar now will stay full all the time, no matter what's happening, and I can't give her any commands at all for the rest of the game, as long as she's the one that's staying Berserker. She'll attack whenever she feels like it, she'll attack whatever she feels like, and that's it. If there's ever a boss fight where physically attacking the boss is a bad idea, and in case that sounds like foreshadowing, it is, yeah, that's just gonna be a problem, because she's just gonna attack it and cause me serious issue. But I don't have a choice in the matter, and that is why Berserker is a really terrible class. They get very, very good attack damage, but a lot of the time it's not worth the trade-off. But we have 2 jobs now, so let's press on, see if we can get the 3rd one before I finish up today. Or next. Come on, why don't you use your spell? Before Faris kills you all. Nope. Alright. Oh, I did get it. So, Blue Magic has some really fun spells. This one in particular I really like, where you get the spell question mark, question mark, question mark. With the description, question mark, question mark, question mark. What does it do? It's the vampire spell, but doesn't drain health. That's it. Could the game tell you that? I mean, probably. It chooses not to. Right, I'm going to take a short break. Just realized I've been streaming for about 2 hours, I haven't got enough or anything, so I will be back in a moment. Alright, I am back. Press on to the next town. No Berserker. I have literally no control over what you're doing, Faris. Right. There you go. We've made it to the next town. Well, the gal's dead. Let's fix that real quick. Welcome to Karnak, the town perpetually on fire. I thought I missed a blue magic spell, but I didn't. Alright, let's go outside and save. Get into the stupid business of this town. Here's the fun part about Karnak. We go into the equipment shop, and we go up to this guy here, and we're gonna be like, right, what new equipment's available now in this new town? And it's like, buy, and you have all these really cool mithril weapons. They're all really strong. And they're incredibly cheap right now. Like, 262 gil for a mithril hammer is absurdly cheap. And then you're like, right, I would like one mithril hammer. And they're like, you there, freeze! And then the cops come in, and they're like, there they are. Hey, with the monsters, we saw you crawl from the meteorite, don't try to deny it. And the cops come in, and they arrest you. They take you to jail. And now, waiting game 2.0. How's everyone's day going? I'm sit here and wait, so... Alright, finally something's happening. Oh, horse feathers. My great escape! It's another cell. Lost my explosive too. Nuts. You've come back now. Nice to see I got a Berserker. I mean, I'd rather not. I'm gonna get a third job in a second. If I'm unlucky, I could end up with 2 Berserkers. Glossing over the story here, this is Sid. He built the machines that amplify the crystals, and he's figured out too late that the crystals are actually draining the crystals. Sorry, the machines are grabbing them, crystals' energy and draining them too quickly, and it causes them to shatter. And then we're like, yeah, we're here to protect the crystal. Hope I roll Bard. Oh god, I think if I rolled Bard. Bard, Blue Mage, Berserker. I'm trying to think, is there another class with a B? Black Mage, I guess? Go for the all B party. Crystal's cracked, turn off the amplifier. Fire-powered ship is draining it. Time for the next dungeon. They're in cahoots with that werewolf. Alright, Professor. Then it's time for the next dungeon, the fire-powered ship. And then we get another job. We'll have the 3 jobs, and then after how long it takes you to get your first one, the second and third come really quick, and then the 4th one takes a while. But yes, Karnak, a city perpetually on fire. Like, even the library in the castle is on fire. Just why? I don't care if the fire-powered crystal is what's powering your entire city. You don't just set your entire city on fire. Like, come on. The werewolf. And he comes and shows up at the door, and like, aha, explosives, and the werewolf runs away. Alright. I'll take your word for it. Hey, Mithril Hammer. Alright. I can't equip the soul barb? Alright. Oh yeah. Who here likes Devo? Because, read that whip description. I'll wait. And for anyone who doesn't get that joke, when a problem comes along, you must whip it. Ooh, I forgot about that. Right. Now we need some cash. That's more like it, damage-wise. How's your day going, Shiki? Having a good day so far, or...? Almost lunch, so can't complain. Can't be all bad in that case at all. Good background sound, nice. You have literally one job, Faris. Hit things with your hammer, and you missed. Need to buy Thermon. Weapon time. This is always the slightly boring part, is just preparing for future fights and just grinding a little bit. I need some cash. This is the first town in the game that sells rods as an item, and as I was explaining before, breaking rods is really strong, so having a few spare is very helpful for the next two upcoming dungeons. One of them in particular I definitely want some, or else I'm just gonna basically be shafted, I think. So here we are, grinding for cash. Oh yeah, vampire. When your health is low, it does more damage. Come on, Paris. There we go. Grind is real. 1900. How much odds do I like to buy? Got me 2 file. Much faster than grinding in the new games. Yep. Old Final Fantasy grinding is really quick. I think probably one of the best examples of that is I have a save file in Final Fantasy 1 where my entire party is level 99, and that takes a long time to do, even in that, but like comparatively, like 13 or like 15 or something, it's much quicker. I think the only lengthy attack animations in this is some of the black and time magic spells and the summons are long, but like, it's not Doom Train in Final Fantasy VIII long. That is a long summon. 12. Cash. Rods, did I buy them? Flame rods? I did. Alright. At least one of those. We're in the forests. There we go. I'm trying to remember exactly where you find the wild knacks, because they always come in an encounter of about 5 enemies, and these guys are one of the better cash drops in this entire first section of the game. There we go. This will be quicker. Farming for Gil. We can go and get job 3. Okay. Alright, how many rods do I have? 3 frost, 2 flame, 2 thunder. I think I want 2 more frost. No, 1 more frost and 2 more fire. And it's time for the next dungeon. Fire-powered ship. Which has the fire crystal on it, so once we clear that, that'll be job number 3. And then the Karnak 500. Every 4-job Fiesta player's probably least favorite part of the game. Let's quickly unheal. That's the end. I don't want to spoil the surprise about why the Carnic 500 is so terrible, so I'll explain it when I get there. Frost Rod, 2 more fire, I'm not done. I need 2 more fire. Yes, I don't want 4. Come on, more wild knacks. There we go. Getting up to respectable health, everyone's got about 300. That's pretty good. $625 kills. Money. Alright, dungeon time. Got to go on the fire-powered ship. Blow pretty much all of my cash on healing and restorative items. Right. Let's do it. Time to go get the third jobs. I said. This engine has stopped the fire crystal with shot off. Alright, we need to go and turn off the ship. Easy. It's packed with monsters. Get out of the way. Another opportunity for a world map if you missed the first one. And here we go. Love. Oh yeah, flash me. Come on. Sap. Are you guys supposed to counter with flash when you get physically attacked? Come on, crew dust. There it is. Perfect. Alright. That's the other reason why landing flash earlier was dumb. You can land it here. Without having to waste an ether. That's spell 1. There we want to learn. Alright. Time to go to the dungeon for real. And here we go. Got the Metro Glove and the Elixir. Actually, can anyone in the party equip that glove? Right. Kill it before it can flash me. Perfect. Motor traps. Gamma ray. Damn paralysis. Now Len is paralyzed. Her ATV doesn't charge and she can't do anything. And it expires after combat, thankfully. Oh, no, it's fine. What are they? Oh, no, good. Frost gain a job level, learn blue. Now they can equip blue magic when they're not blue mages. Yay! Good old job system. Alright. Elevator. Other chest is Phoenix down. There's that amazing sprite again with the skull with no face, tongue sticking out through both of them. Only this time it's blue. That makes it a completely different enemy. No. Climb up in the tunnel. Crawling through air vents. On my way to the end of the fire ship. Oh, confused. More elevator action. God, which one are they? This one. Oh, that's not it. Dang it. Fourth one then? There it is. I know I shouldn't go for all this loot, because I'm not necessarily going to get a chance to use all of it, but I can't help myself. Speed shake. Alright, well I definitely want to Scream Beret. Should have a quick run as a blue mage, I think. 20 strength, 17, 19, 30, 31, 31. A jaunty green cap. First one. Oh. That one's the right way. I think that last one it was fourth, so it must be third. Yep, it's third. Ring blade, no fixed skulls. Whoops. It's the moon ring blade. I must have. Oh, whatever. Not like I have a thief at the moment, anyway. Literally only class in the game that can use it. Still gonna grab it anyway, because I'm not an idiot. Alright. Tent. Alright. Time to abuse rod breaking again. Bit too ego. All motor traps. Almost to the boss in the next crystal. Whoops. Alexa. Oh wait, I can snap rods. Never mind. Wondering if I had to blind Farah so she wouldn't screw up this next boss fight, because the ones where merely attacking the boss can get you killed, but I have Blue Mage this time, I don't even need to worry about it. Queen Karnak, what's going on? Oh no, she's been possessed, and she's here to power the crystal. Infidels, you should pay for interfering with my revival. And the engine catches fire. Seems bad, now we can't stop it. And now, we have to fight the liquid flame. Frost Rod. Just break it. Normally that hurts, like, a lot. That would be a huge problem, but... Boss is dead. We killed it. Rod abuse. Get ourselves a bow. At least you can get one at this point. And Queen Karnak dies. Well, not really. Controlled by an evil spirit, desires to envelope in everything in darkness. Crystals, not just the machines that are destroying them. Something evil is using their power to resurrect itself. Please save the fire crystal. It's through that room in the pipe. Engine's destroyed, so can't be draining it anymore. Just gotta go and stop the crystal from getting broken. Fire crystal. Hey look, it's the werewolf. Thank goodness it's still intact. Galuf? Won't let you touch the crystal, werewolf. Stand down, I'm not your enemy. Not so sure about that. Galuf, say something, what's happened? Is something wrong? You know me? I can't remember a thing. Who in the blazes am I anyway? Oh hey, random soldier. He turns the machine back on. Look at that, what have you done? Say that was crystal power through the crystal, smash it to smithereens! This makes 3, one more and the seal is broken. Wahahaha! And then he volps away. We go and try and stop it, but the switch is broken. And the pipes start closing in to drain the crystal again. And our wolf friend is like, nah, I'm gonna stop this pipe. Galuf, hold this back. You four must escape. Only one chance remains. Save the earth crystal. And the fire starts breaking into the room. He can't stop the pipe. And we say farewell to our wolf friend we just met. Werewolf! You have to help him! And we try and help, and then the fire erupts. And the floor breaks. Galif, you're our only hope. And the crystal breaks anyway. And the explosion kills Werewolf Buddy. Now, it is time for the Karnak 500. And you might be thinking to yourself, what is the Karnak 500? Well, the Karnak 500 is, the whole entire of Karnak Castle is now at risk of exploding because the crystal died. And, the game is like, here you go, here's a 10-minute timer. When you're in menus, when you're doing anything, the timer still keeps counting. Get through all of Karnak Castle and escape, including fighting a mini-boss at the end, in those 10 minutes. And everyone calls it the Karnak 500 because it sounds better. Karnak 1000 sounds dumb. Crystal shattered. Where's the werewolf? Trapped in the fire and couldn't get out. You have to hurry! Castle held together by the power of the fire crystal. The castle's gonna blow. Exactly, we've got no time to lose. And 10-minute timer start. 10 minutes. Oh, I'm just gonna quickly go down here. Use this to restore my health. And hit a quick save at start. And go. The really fun part is there's all these chests with lots of money in them and really good items that previously you couldn't get to because there was fire in the way or like locked doors, and now you can get to all of them. And sometimes it's worth doing that. And this is why you farm up additional cash for rods. Another elixir. I think this one's the ribbon. I guess. Alright. Just gonna chill for a couple of seconds. There we go. There's the other one. So both those arrow spells you just used are blue magic that we can learn. So if we're lucky, I'll get both of them in one fight and I don't have to waste any more time. Arrow, arrow, perfect. Shuriken, that was the wrong chest. There's one on the other side. Oh god, doing this from memory is a pain. That's the ribbon. Just in case I get Dancer, the item that makes you immune to all status. Really, really handy. Alright. Oh, I should grab a sooner as well on the lookout. Nothing in there. Go through this doorway, up to here. 1000 gil. I guess? No. Run. Bottom one's the Gygus, which that's the elixir, which I don't exactly need. It's the wrong door. God, I'm gonna run out of time, I think. I don't think I'll make it through this time, but... I mean, let's ratchet up the tension, right? Timer in the bottom right-hand corner. We're gonna send both these towers. Monster attack. Items. Flame rod. Break it. Whoops. Why'd you miss, Faris? Come on. Literally one job. Your job is to sit here and attack stuff, and you keep missing. just gotta hit. There we go. Second elemental. Really handy. Alright, now we gotta get to the other tower. Now we've still got a blue magic spell to learn from the final mini-boss at the end of this section, which can take ages for him to use it, but we really want to learn it. Actually, everyone's still punching, aren't they? Whoops. I get... Oh, the dog fled. Oh god. Cash. Yep, perfect. Which means the other one is the monster fight, and the last one is the elixir. Right, bottom of this tower, get the main gauche. Emerald. Shatter it. I'm confused. I've been immediately punched. Perfect. Alright, catch you later, Shiki. Our weapons back on. Thunder Rod. That is Lightning Scroll. Wrong one first. That is Sooner. Brilliant. Mini-boss time. Don't kill the Sergeant Faris. Thank you. Sergeant, you better bring it. Oh, I'm bringing it. Don't you worry. Oops. Burn attack. Thank you for missing. Go on, transform. This guy. He's no ordinary soldier. Show us your true form. Ha ha ha! You know my true identity? I'm the famed bounty hunter, Iron Claw. Morph! Hello there, Iron Claw. Can you use your special attack on me so I can learn it? There it is, Death Claw. Perfect. Error. Error. Victory. And Death Claw. And we're done. 4 minutes 25 to spare. First try. Let's go. That was actually really clean. I was actually impressed. To be honest, that was a lot easier than I was expecting that was going to end up being. Alright, job number 3. Let's find out what we're getting. Crystal shards. You lend us your power as well. And resting within the shard, warrior spirit, Beastmaster, Geomancer, worst mage in the game, and last, ninja. that's our 3 new jobs that we have unlocked that we can access. But our third job is... Switch this over. Oh, a randomizing job. What are we gonna get? Job number 3 is... Alright. I don't think I have that job yet. I think that's an Earth Crystal job. Let me just check. Change that over actually first. So job number 3 is... that. Which probably means nothing to most people. Let's see. Knight, Monk, Thief, Ninja, Berserker, Mystic Knight, White Mage, Black Mage, Time Mage, Summoner, Blue Mage, Red Mage, Beastmaster, Freelancer, and Geomancer. No, we do not have it yet. Third job is Dragoon, which we don't have. That's disappointing. I wanted a job I could actually use, so I stuck with 3 Blue Mages and 2... Oh, sorry, and a Beastmaster, Berserker. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Alright, and now for the annoying part about Karnak. All the weapons have gone massively up in price, because the ship's dead. But there's a few new ones here. Rune Spear, Kunai Whip, Bell. For the new classes, because the Geomancer is the class that uses bells. Ninja uses the Ashura, Ninja Swords. Alright. How much further do I want to go? What's party levels? Am I level 15-ish? I'm level 15 exactly. Okay. Let's do this then. This is gonna seem really bizarre to anyone who's still watching. But I'm gonna kill some of my own party members. I'm gonna make sure Faris and Avros are dead for a moment here. Let's start heading our way to the next location we need to get to, which is the Library of... Dorm? Is it Karnak Library? I forget. One of the two. The library. That's where our next dungeon is. The next dungeon is in a library. You may be wondering why I'm killing off my party members, and that's for a very good reason. Because, there's a really great spell we can learn. Blue magic spell, obviously, because we're learning spells from enemies. In the next dungeon, that is... requires you to be at specific levels to learn it. The problem is that if you're at that level, it instantly kills you. So if your entire party's at that level, you just die. Your entire party just gets wiped, and that is not particularly fun. So we need to desynchronize our party levels. So Avros and Faris are going to eat the bullet here and stay at level 15. Which, once you see the spell, I'll explain entirely why they need to be level 15, but I don't want to spoil the surprise just yet. And then we're going to get Galuf and Lena to 16, so that they won't be killed instantly by the spell. And we'll go learn that spell. too big brain. Look, once you see what the spell's called, it's not even that big brain, it's just, like, obvious. The problem with it is that because it does just instantly kill your party, and I'll explain the exact mechanics behind it once I learn the spell, you'll understand that this is, like, the biggest noob trap in a game that's, like, an RPG where you could have done your last save, like, a few hours back, and then just be caught out by this and lose, like, a few hours of progress. And let's just say that the hours of progress you lost were right before you finished the Fireship and the Karnak 500. Going back that far and having to redo that 10-minute, like, castle escape, not fun. So, if you ever play Final Fantasy V, just, like, casually, you don't have to do the full job Fiesta or anything, just remember that the library has this, this spell on it. As well as these enemies, because it's just not a thing you want to experience if you can help it. Anyway. So I need some more EXP. I've gotta have an actual damage spell now. Yeah. Very good reason why you fight the Gygases, so you can learn Arrow. There we go. Unlike Goblin Punch, doesn't need you to be at a specific level to deal damage. It's just like, yep. Look at me go. Ow. Well, I guess 3 of them are dead now. Alright. Not how I intended to do that, but because 3 of my party members are dead, Lena got extra EXP, so now she's the only one at level 16. Now we'll just go up here, use the pot. Everyone's back alive. Oh yeah. So this book I just read before, I just remembered, spoils it. So these 2 guys here, and they're like, yeah, Ifrit would burn possessed books for us, so Ifrit's in here, and they only want to burn the books that are possessed, they don't know what those are. And these 3 books, one of them's possessed, the other 2 give you hints about specific stuff in the game, which is really cool. So like this one, I give that strange staff that I found to the man from Tycoon. So I Secrets broke before and already got the staff, but it's this one, which is the healing staff, which if you have someone that can equip staffs, they can use it as an item in combat, and it does the spell heal, which is just heals everybody, it's great. This other book here spoils the spell, and the last one's possessed, so we'll fight the possessed book first. And here's page 32. Because there's lots of books in this dungeon, and they all have enemies in them. They also have Arrow, which is handy, in case you missed out in the Karnak 500. And this is the one, page 64, that has the spell that we want. So now you just gotta wait, hope that he casts the spell. Faris doesn't kill him before he does it. You there. Get paralyzed. Quit it. Alright. Come on, do the spell. Oh, no, wait, it's not 64, it's 32, isn't it? Whoops. Oh, we wanted to be paralyzed anyway, so stops doing that. Oh, that book's gone. And they talk to me, they're like, yeah, we still only want to burn the possessed books. Anyway, I'm gonna read this other book that spoils the spell. But it's called Blue Mage's Journey. Finally started learning enemy skills. Arrow, level 5 death. So, level 5 death is the one that we're looking at. That we want to learn. And, it's one of those things that you find out in Final Fantasy games when you play them for a while, how the level spells work. And what the level spells do is they affect everybody that's a multiple of that level. So, I mean, if it was like level 1, it would literally affect everybody. So they don't do spells like level 1 death or anything like that. Usually, the stronger the spell is, the narrower band of levels it affects. So, like, level 5 death, for example, will affect everything that's a multiple of level 5. So, you know, 5 and 0 numbers, obviously. And when it says death, it means death. So we're going to sit here and wait for page 32 to cast his level 5 death. Keeping in mind 3 members of our party are multiples of level 5. And then we'll get to see exactly how this works. Varus, rack off. I'm trying to kill him before he teaches the spell. Go away. But casting error and cast the level 5 death already. You jerk. So quit trying to kill Lena. She's the only one in the party that can survive the spell. Come on. Do the thing. Do the thing. This is why blue mages kind of suck, because you just spend time in combat just being like, cast the spell, that's the one that I can learn already. Jerk. Come on. Why are you like this? I think the last fight leveled them up at all. Maybe it did. Ah. Guess we'll finish this combat and find out. Do the thing! No, it's still a 15. Okay. Just didn't want me to learn the spell. What a jerk. Gotta love the magical bookshelf maze that requires you to stand in certain spots to move the bookshelves. How am I getting through this room with no random encounters? This, like, never happens. Really? 2 times? Hello? Game? Take you out of the equation quickly, thank you. And now we wait again. Cast the spell, damn it. Now I'm just quickly checking to make sure it's the right one. That's why you always check your sources. I was like, yeah, it's page 64, it's got level 5 death. Double checking my little tips sheet, and it's like, no, it's page 32 that has level 5 death. And I'm like, alright, I guess you're the one that's written the guide, you'd know. No, it is page 64, I was right all along. I would explain why it's not casting level 5 death for me. Again, really? No enemies? Okie doke. Yes, the major reason why I want to learn level 5 death is that there's actual levels on the enemies as well, of course. And as long as the enemy doesn't have the heavy flag set, they can be affected by instant kill spells. So if you come up against a boss that's level 5, or a multiple of, and it's not heavy, with a blue mage you can just one-shot it by literally just casting a spell that makes it die immediately. So that's fun. Death Claw on Varus quickly. You go ahead and take care of her. She doesn't mess all this up. And you're... smack that with the arrow. Or just... there we go. There it is. Its levels are multiples of 5, and instantly kills the 5. Oh, that's level 5 death for you. Now if I'm unlucky now that I've revived him, just immediately casts it again. Fun. Alright. Learned level 5 death. Alright. And now, we can't level up our party so they're 16 and that stops happening. First, heal up, get a free revive. Go outside and save. And that will be it for the first stream of this Fiesta. Because I'm not going to make it to the next crystal. Oh. What am I going to do? I got to do the library. Couple of incidental towns. And then Present Island. Airship Dungeon. Oh no, I'm not making it to the next crystal today. No, alright. that's gonna be it. But before we finish up, let's have a look quickly at all of the blue magic we learned in one day. So we got level 5 Death, obviously, which is what we just learned. We got Pond's Chorus, turning stuff to toads. We got Flash for blinding, Deathclaw, which severely lowers something's health. They refer to it as sort of like a gravity effect. Basically drops something to essentially no health left at all, and also has a chance of paralysis. Works and stuff. Even with the heavy flag, it can drop them to very low health, so that's brilliant. Arrow and Error, which are blue magic actual damage spells, so our blue mages are now actually mages. Goblin Punch, which is now horrendously fallen off in effectiveness after the Cull boss kill. Vampire and its counterpart, Nothing, question marks, which does the same damage as Vampire, except without the drain, so it works on undead. That's it. We've learned a big chunk of all the blue magic we can learn. I don't think there's anything in the next dungeon we can learn other than level 5 Death. We did skip one spell because getting hit by it would wipe our entire party, so not doing that. But that is going to be it, actually, for today. So thank you guys for coming and joining us on the first day of the Fiesta. Yeah, gonna be fun. If I get this run done relatively quickly within the month, because the Fiesta does run for basically the entire month, I will be probably signing up for a second run and streaming that. Which I might do a different set of rules, make it a bit more complicated on myself. Might take suggestions on that one if you guys want to see something different. Otherwise, I will figure something out for that one if I decide to do another one. And yeah, thanks guys for coming to hang out and watch. Should have put a link below in my channel description for the Fiesta. The website is forjobfiesta.com, or for spelled out F-O-U-R, jobfiesta.com. You can donate there for the charity that they're doing this year, that we're all doing, or running the game for this year, and see all the other players that are playing as well, what they're doing for their runs. I forget what charity it is this year. I think it might be Palestinian Relief Fund? I would need to check that, actually, now I think about it. Yeah, Palestinian Children's Relief Fund for this year, so yeah, feel free to go and drop some dollars if you want to for a good cause. It's the whole reason why we do the Fiesta every year. It's good fun for us and good for the charity. Usually raises a decent amount of money. I don't know how much we've done so far. I haven't seen the numbers. Usually it raises, you know, quite a lot. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, day, whatever time it is for you. I will probably be streaming again on Wednesday. I don't think I'll be doing another one tomorrow night, but I'll be continuing the Fiesta then. So thank you for watching. Hopefully catch you in the next one, and catch you again soon.